I recently received an email from a member asking me what this architectural element is called. I'm far from being an expert. With every one of your questions, I learned something. I replied with Newel Post with a question mark. They knew the correct answer, but were second-guessing themselves. That caused me to also. So I did some research. I searched Google Images for parts of a staircase and found a couple of great images like this one from Wood Stairs, Canada. I also thumbed through a couple of books in my library. You know, the ones that sit on shelves. As a result, I compiled a new resource that I thought you might find helpful. Besides, this topic aligns with Deck Awareness Month, which we're smack dab in the middle of. So I began to build a glossary of terms using a visual dictionary of architecture and the JLC Field Guide to Residential Construction. It started just as the anatomy of a railing, but it flowed down the stairs from there. As long as I've been doing this, some of the terms were new to me. Here's a photograph of the stairs in my house. The railing system isn't the greatest. I live in a production home. When we moved in, carpet covered the risers and treads. A couple of years ago, I ripped it off and added white painted pine risers and hickory treads. I started at the top with the theory that I would be a more experienced woodworker by the time I reached the part that our guests would see. The starting step was originally a bullnose, but by the time I reached the bottom, I was ready to be done with the project and squared off the curtails. Notice how I'm term dropping? This part seems to approach what you could call a gooseneck rail. Here's what a real one looks like. And here's where there's a missed opportunity. A half newel would have made the overall balustrade look better anchored to the wall. And when we look closer, we see that I have a stringer fascia. I believe it's the actual stringer. On the outside, the stringer also serves as the skirt board. This means I have a Western stringer style stair, as opposed to the Eastern stringer style, which has the stringers concealed under the treads and risers. My Newel posts are simple. I've thought about buying some finials to add to the top. Those are the things that are usually round balls or pineapples. Without them, I could always add a mortgage button or brag button. They're for sale on Amazon. And according to legend, the brag button came about in the colonial days and signifies that you own your home free and clear. Here's the thing. A mortgage, per se, didn't exist until the creation of the FHA in 1934. And I don't own my house free and clear. But I digress. Back to the anatomy of a stair. Had my top rails terminated with right and left-handed volutes, I would have been more adamant about the starting step being a bullnose. And you might like this too. I found a great blog post about balusters written by the Institute of Classical Architecture and Art, ICAA. Their website URL is classicist.org. The writer admits it was a surprise when they learned that balusters, as we know them, are a Renaissance development and were unknown in ancient times. The standard railings used by the Romans had crisscross panels called Roman lattice. Well, what do you know? And there are tons of images, including this very cool drawing that breaks down the baluster into equal sections to illustrate the proportions. Everything is intended to be so simple if we just take the time to learn the rules. So, where's this new glossary found? Go to aibd.org/blog and look at the top of the page for a step-by-step guide on stair and railing parts. That reminds me of a joke. Here is the step-by-step guide on how to fall down the stairs. Step 16, Step 12, Step 7, Step 3, Step 1. Aw, come on. That's funny. I don't care who you are. After looking through the glossary, in the comments below, let me know what stair or railing part I forgot to include. Garrett tells me the search algorithms like it when content is updated. Bookmark it for future reference or link it to your website. When you're talking stairs with associates, it's good for everyone to be using the same terminology, but when your clients want to borrow your scale, they'll probably ask you to pass the ruler. And I wouldn't correct them. But if they ask, you'll have a resource to teach them about stairs and railings. Remember to go back to the email that got you here and check out what's going on in AIBD. Thanks for watching the entire video and have a triumphant week.